2021 was supposed to be Hamilton's year, the year he became the most successful F1 driver by winning one more championship than Schumacher's 7. Then came Masi and the dramatic finish on the last lap of the Yas Marina circuit. Max Verstappen was crowned with his first World Championship title. With the whole world watching, it was pain, horror, and a sense of betrayal for Hamilton, who went AWOL almost immediately after. But with Masi now gone, as well as the events of last season, Hamilton is geared up to take his revenge this season and go all the way. So it's time to guess what his first steps are: spying on other teams. Stay with us to find out what Hamilton was thinking about retiring, Masi's removal from his role in F1, and just how he intends to get revenge on Verstappen this season. Lewis is more motivated than ever to win the championship this season after Masi decided to spice things up during the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Hamilton led most of the race and approached the final few laps with hard-worn tyres. After the race was caught in a dramatic turn of events by an accident involving Nicholas Latifi of Williams Racing, the safety car was deployed and it held the racing almost to the last lap, with the cars between Hamilton and Verstappen told they had to unlap themselves. This resulted in Verstappen being just a few feet away from Hamilton, who was slowed down to the last lap by the safety car. Given the sprint finish to the final lap of the race, and Verstappen having fresh tyres and Hamilton being on old worn hard tyres, the ending result was inevitable. As Verstappen crossed the finish line, the last phrase uttered from Hamilton's radio was, "This has been manipulated, man." After the race, the Mercedes driver chose not to speak to the media and went as far as going to unfollow everyone on his social media platforms except for his brother, while he, quote, unplugged and switched off for a while. Hamilton didn't attend the FIA Awards in Paris, and this led to a lot of speculation, with sports analysts around the world speculating that he would retire. Former F1 chief Bernie Ecclestone was one of the many people who spoke about the possibility of Hamilton retiring, saying, "I don't think he's coming back, I think he will not race next year. His disappointment in Abu Dhabi was too big, and I understand this. Now, tied for 7 titles with Michael Schumacher, it's the perfect time for him to fulfill his dream and be a fashion entrepreneur." To make matters worse, the FIA's new president revealed that Hamilton hadn't been answering his calls or that of anyone from the FIA. He's on record saying, "I've sent him messages, I don't think he's 100% ready and can't respond right now." We don't blame him, I understand his position. As a driver, obviously, he is at a different level. Mercedes themselves didn't make things easier for F1 fans by constantly hinting that Hamilton could in fact retire, with Jenson Button saying he will never overcome the pain and distress. To the relief of everyone, the Mercedes 2022 car launch became Hamilton's first appearance in front of media since the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. During the show, Hamilton debunked the suggestion that he wanted to retire or even could retire, saying, "I never said I was going to stop. I love doing what I do, and it's such a privilege working with large groups of people. There's no feeling quite like it. It was obviously a difficult time for me though. It was when I needed to take a step back, focus on being present, so I had my family all around me and we were creating great moments. But now it's exciting coming back and seeing George coming in and seeing his energy." Mercedes boss Toto Wolff also confirmed he was never worried about the prospect of Lewis Hamilton quitting F1, saying, "No, I was never worried, although you have to respect the driver is disillusioned after such an event. But we have a strong team and great support, so I knew he was going to come back. We were all disillusioned because the stopwatch never lies and Lewis was clearly the best guy on the track in Abu Dhabi, dominating the race, and then it is taken away by a single individual going against all the rules, so to digest that it is very difficult. But like all of us, there was an initial shock. We have never seen anything like that, so he had to walk away and free his mind and think about something else." A few weeks ago, the FIA claimed there would be new changes to the refereeing of the sport due to the events that unfolded in Abu Dhabi. As a result of these changes, Masi was removed from his role as race director, and the FIA promised that there would be extra support given to his replacement in order to take pressure off race control. With the launch of the Mercedes W13 just around the time of Masi's removal as race director, Hamilton and Mercedes finally got the response they were waiting for from the FIA. But the move by the FIA begs the million-dollar question we will never get the answer to. Is this the FIA's way of saying that Hamilton was denied a record-breaking 8th World Championship intentionally? Hamilton was asked if his faith in the FIA had been restored given these changes, to which he'd replied, "I'd probably put faith and trust alongside each other. Trust obviously can be lost in the blink of an eye or the flick of a finger, but to earn trust is something that's built over a long period of time. This first announcement yesterday is perhaps the first step of that, but it doesn't necessarily change everything just yet. We have to see the actual action in place. I think it will take a bit of time." He also later added, "It's good to see the FIA taking steps accountability is key. We have to use moments like this to make sure this never happens again to anyone else in the sport. But despite all the news and rumours flying around Hamilton's quest for revenge on Verstappen this season, Hamilton himself claims he doesn't have a problem with the way Max won the title in 21. He also said he believes the world champion did everything a driver could do, and therefore he doesn't see any point in blaming Max for it. Here's how he put it: "This has nothing to do with Max. Max did everything a driver would do if he got the chance. He is a great competitor and he will fight again like we did last year. We will grow for our own races and experiences during the last season. But I have no problems with him. I never think it's right to carry this with you, so I look forward and I don't dwell on the past. I don't hold a grudge with anyone." Rather than holding a grudge, Hamilton will be using last year's experience to push himself further like never before this season. He also admitted that his race losses to Verstappen have fueled the fire for the new season and explained he intends to get better this season. "I was up on Monday powering through this run, focusing on my stretching, making sure that it's going to be the best I can be during the race. I'm communicating with James Allison and Peter Bonington, saying, hey guys, I'm sorry about last weekend, how can we be better? How can I help be better? How can we be a tight unit in the next race so that we crush it?" Although Hamilton insists he doesn't hold any grudge about what happened in Abu Dhabi, Hamilton says he's unable to actually look back at the footage from the Grand Prix. "No, I definitely didn't look back at the race. It was something I envisioned very clearly and experienced and played it over and over in my head for the few weeks to come after the race." Despite Hamilton's claim about not wanting revenge, you can't deny statements like, "If you think what you saw at the end of last year was my best, wait until you see this year," are ordinary claims. The Mercedes driver will no doubt do his thing on the track, but he won't forget what happened last year. He knows the team he has to beat, the driver he has to watch out for on the track, and he will give it 100% to get his crown back. That's the only kind of revenge he can get on Verstappen and Red Bull, and he will make sure of it. They say for you to beat the best, you have to study them, and Hamilton has been doing just that, taking a sneak peek at the new Red Bull car during the preseason testing in Montpello. Be sure that whatever little detail he saw or found, he's going to reveal it to his team at Mercedes. Do you think Hamilton is being honest and transparent about his feelings about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in this season and his request for revenge? Let us know in the comments below.